In today's lecture, we will see the what do you mean by synonyms. Okay, you might know about the synonyms because in a word you already find the synonyms of the name, right? But how exactly the synonyms are work and how they are stored in any software. So today we will see the in detail what do you mean by the synonyms. So let us consider these are the words that have the same meaning in some or all contexts. Okay, so here we are finding out the similar word in a synonym that may be a same or some part of that word may be a same in particular context. For example, cost or sofa, automobile and the car, water and H2O. So these are the words you can say that they are the similar to each other either in all contexts or in some contexts. For example, big and the large, yes, they are same. But where you are using that word, that is most important, right? So according to the context, the meaning of big and the large is also get change. The two lexemes are synonyms if they can be successfully substituted for each other in all situations. In that condition only you can say that that word is a perfect synonyms if they are successfully substitute for each other in all solutions. For example, water and H2O. So normally you cannot say that I'm drinking the H2O. You are saying that I am drinking the water. But in a technical case, water is nothing but the H2O. But in general language, we are not use the word H2O and you cannot pronounce that I'm drinking H2O. Okay, so automobile and car, they are also same, but we cannot say that I'm driving the automobile. Okay, so in which context you can say that the automobile industry. So in that automobile industry, there may be a car, there may be a truck, there may be any bus. So that is the automobile industry. So when you use the word industry, so you can use the word automobile. You cannot use the word car. Car is one of the product of automobile. So how you can context, how you can use that word in which context, that is important. Then synonyms, consider the words big and the large. Okay, so these words are big and large are same, but the context, if the context is get changed, the meaning of the word is also get changed. Now, how big is that plane? That is a sentence. How big is that plane? And same, you can use the word large in will I be flying on the large or a small plane? So here you cannot use the word big. You are using the word large. But in a sentence number one, in a first sentence, you are using the word big. You cannot say that the how large is that plane. You are saying that how big is that plane. And both words having the synonym. Now, in this context, you cannot use the big and the large for the same sentence. Miss Nelson, for instance, become a kind of big sister to Benjamin. So you can use the word big that in context with the sisters of Benjamin. But in a second sentence, it is not accepted. Miss Nilsson, for instance, become a kind of large sister to the Benjamin. No, it is not allowed. Okay, so these are the words big and the large. Both are used, but it is again depend on in which context we are using this word. So are you use the sister, big sister or large sister? The meaning of large sister is totally different as the meaning of big sister. Okay, so in which context we are using this, that is most important. The big has a sense that means being older or grow up, while the large lack the sense. Lack the sense means large don't have any sense that what it is represent. Is it represent the older? Is it represent the grow up in this sentence? No. So this big and the large sentence, large word have their own identity according to their sentence, according to their context. Now, the shade of the meaning. What is the cheapest first class fare? Or what is the cheapest first class price? Which one is more correct? So, in context, you can say that the first one is correct. That is, what is the cheapest first class fare? You cannot say that what is the cheapest first class price. So, the collocational constraint, it means that we frustrate and pretty soon they make a big mistake. So, which one is correct? Is a big mistake or a large mistake? Which type of mistake you are doing? Are you doing a big mistake or are you doing a large mistake? So this is a collocational constraint. Okay. So we frustrate, we man frustrate. Pretty soon they make a big mistake. They are not making a large mistake. They are making a big mistake. So putting the word appropriately, for that you require the context. In which context they are using? Then antonyms, that is the opposite. Okay. So here we have to find out the sense that are opposite with respect to one another. For example, dark, light, short, long, hot, cold, up, down, in, out. But here you have also find out in which condition you are using this word. For example, this hot and cold represent a temperature. Okay. And from this short and long, what you are getting? You are getting the distance. Okay. Dark and light, what it is indicating? That is a color. then up and down, in and out. So in which context you are using this word for the opposition, that is also important, and according to that you can say, otherwise they are similar, otherwise they are similar. Okay, so antonyms means opposite with respect to one feature of their meaning. So antonym can define a binary opposite or at opposite end of a scale. Okay, so here use the word that is the opposite end of the scales, means are you running fast or are you running slow? So this is the end of scale, means at the end you can say that this is a very slow person, means its speed is only 1 kilometer per hour, and this is very fast because he is running 10 kilometer 100 kilometer per hour. So this is the scale you are mentioning. And then you can say that they are opposite, binary opposite, means yes or no, are they opposite or not, yes or no. The next is hyponym. In hyponyms we find out the one sense is hyponym of another if the first sense is more specific, denoting a subclass of the other. Are you getting? So what is a hyponym? The hyponym means that is the one sense is the hyponym of another if the first sense is more specific and denoting the subclass of other. Okay, so here the car, the animal, the fruit, what is this? These are the, you can say that it is a class. These are the class. And the car, dog, mango, these are the subclass. These are the subclass. Got it? So the one sense means the vehicle is giving us some sense if the another class of class is denoting something. For example, car. So car is a subclass and vehicle is a class. So both words, that is a car and vehicle, are seen as hyponyms to each other. For example, animal. Animal is a class because in any when you say that the animal, so there are the variety of animal available. So it may be a dog, it may be a cat, it may be a cow, it may be a tiger, it may be a lion, it may be anything. But when you say that it is a class, then the dog is a subclass. Dog is a subclass of the class animal. Then fruit and the mango. Yes, when you see that the fruits, there is not only one fruit is available, that is mango. No, there are n number of fruits are available, and these fruits, mango is a subclass of class fruit, and they have a hyponyms. They have the hyponyms to each other. So these hypernyms means, let us consider the color. So hyponyms is a purple, and then violet, then lavender. So they are in purple color. Crimson. Then furniture is a class. So subclass are table, bed, chair, sofa, shelf. And so here you can say that the wheel is a subclass of chair. Sorry, wheelchair is a subclass of chair. So this is a hyponym for chair. It is a hyponym for chair. And chair is a subclass of furniture. Chair is a subclass of furniture. So the chair is a hyponym for furniture. Okay. Okay. So this is a hyponym. So chair is a hyponym for furniture, and wheelchair is a hyponym for chair. So even though the chair is a subclass, and wheelchair is a subclass, so they must provide the some hyponyms. There is a sense depend on one another. Then hypernym. So hypernym means that is a conversional. Vehicle is a hypernym of a car. Animal is a hypernym of a dog, and fruit is a hypernym for the mango. So they are convergently connected to each other. Then meronymy. The definition for meronymy is an asymmetric transitive relation between the sense. X is an meronymy of Y if it is denotes a part of Y. Why do you say that? X is an meronymy of Y if it denotes a part of Y. Then and then we can be say that X is the meronymy of Y. But it should denote the some part of the Y. And its inverse is a holominy. So porch is a part of house. Whenever you build a house, so you are also build the porch. That is allowed. Okay, normally we can see that there is a house, so there must be a one porch. So this is, you can say that this is the X and this is the Y. So X is the meromony of Y if it is denote a part of the Y. So yes, porch is the part of house. That is correct. Wheel is a part of car. Leg is a part of chair, and nose is a part of face. So this is called as a meronymy, and holomimy opposite. This is opposite. House and the porch, that is a holominy. Okay, car and the wheel are the holominy. Chair and the leg are the holominy. Face and the nose are the holominy. but nose is connected with a face as a meronomy. Got it? So these are the all terminology till that we have seen. And now we will see the next part of our, it is most important, that is a word name.